Good Sunday evening to you. I'm Jillian Benfield. Thanks for joining us tonight. We begin with just one day after the Burke County Bears brought home the state title. The celebrations continue this evening in Waynesboro. Burke County left the CSRA Saturday without any history of being crowned as the state champs, but they returned to Waynesboro having defeated Peach County 28-14 in a comeback win that gave the team its first title in school history. But for one of the players, Saturday's victory was bittersweet. Senior Kadarius Burdett had to bury his brother earlier this week after he was killed in an illegal drag racing accident. Even though Keyshawn couldn't be at the game, his brother Kadarius says that's who he was playing for. It's tonight's big story at 11.
There it is. Coach Parker won a state championship as a player in 1983.
It would be hard to find a moment in any high school kid's life that could top winning a state championship game. It was the second most unforgettable moment for Burke County running back Kadarius Burdett. The first happened days earlier, but instead of tears of joy, Kadarius and his family experienced unimaginable pain when deputies say an illegal street racer ran off the road and killed his brother, Keyshawn.
Oh, yeah. It was hard.
Kadarius and his family buried Keyshawn Wednesday. Kadarius said once he stepped in between those white lines Saturday night, though, he had to put his sadness behind him.
I decided I was just going to play hard and give my all and win for him.
But winning didn't come easy. The Bears were down 14-0 with just minutes to go before the half. Burdett's mother was in the stands.
And I looked up and I said, Keyshawn, please guide them through.
Moments later, the Bears had 3rd and 17 when Kadarius made the game-changing catch.
Word, amazing.
And I was like, I wish his brother could have been here to see it, but I know he's in heaven watching, so he saw it.
Even though his little brother couldn't physically be in the stands, Kadarius said with his mom having just lost a son and being just days away from her due date, it meant everything to him to have her cheering him on.
She was able to see her son play in a state championship game and win. And knowing that I did it for my little brother.
On the way. He says he hopes to go to college so he can continue being a role model for his siblings. A wonderful young man I met today. Best of luck to him. Time now for a quick check of the weather. Jenna Lee Thomas joins us now. And Jenna Lee, a little rain in the area.
A little bit of rain.
2 murders in 2 days. That's what happened in Richmond County over the weekend.
Overall, the murder rate is up throughout the county, but we did find at least one positive to the statistics. In less than 48 hours, 3 people were booked into the Richmond County Jail, all accused of taking someone's life. Unfortunately, the murder rate is up significantly this year.
This time last year, we had 14 murders. And overall, over all of last year, we only had 28 murders. And we are, we're very much on a path to surpass that.
Lieutenant Blaze Dresser says he hopes that doesn't happen. In 2010, the murder rate was very high with 38 people killed. Last year, it was down with 28. Already this year, though, we've had 20. Can the police stop murders?
No. We would love to, but we can't.
But they can solve them, and that is something they've been doing more of this year. Take a look at these numbers again. In 2010, 6 were left unsolved. Last year, 8, and this year, only 1.
The community this year has played a really big part in coming forward with information and trusting us again to come forward and keep them anonymous.
Sergeant Bill Licey is now over homicides this year. With a successful resolution rate, we wanted to know how he and his team have been more successful than in years past.
As soon as we go to work, we work it. We do not go home. We do until there's absolutely nothing left that we could possibly do. All people have been identified, or everyone has been spoken with that needs to be spoken with. And until we get that done, then we don't go home.
A fire destroyed one local church that has been in Burke County for more than 130 years. Now, out of the ashes, the members have a new church where they can hold worship services once again. What a strike of lightning took away, today the members of Brown Grove Baptist Church say God gave them back.
It's good to be home. It's wonderful to be back home again.
In November 2010, a bolt of lightning struck down Pastor Clary Dishman Jr.'s church. The inside of the building was burned so badly you could barely tell this was a place of worship. Despite all the damage, the cross still stood, giving promise to new life, to a new home.
If you've never been out of your house, you would know how it feels to get back in one.
Youth Minister Ruby Rucker, along with the rest of her Brown Grove Baptist family, were able to step into their new house today. But before they could cross over the threshold, they walked from where their old building used to stand to this new one.
It's been a long journey. We are grateful for all of the obstacles and the hardships and the disappointments to get us to where we are.
Sunday's service was to dedicate their new building to the one they say gave it to them. Today, these members say out of the ashes, God gave them a crown of beauty.
It let me know that whatever God tear down, He's able to build it bigger and He's able to build it better.
Members of Brown Grove Baptist Church were holding worship services at First Baptist Church on Cheatham Street in Keysville for nearly 16 months before being able to build this own church again. Tonight, they are also thanking those members for their temporary home. Move to the right for sirens and lights. That's the message from the CSRA's emergency management. Every year in the U.S., there are almost 16,000 collisions involving emergency vehicles while responding to or returning from incidents, resulting in thousands of injuries each year. I spoke with a local firefighter on how this affects them in tonight's big story. When lives are at risk, every second counts.
It's a constant source of concern.
That concern Martinez Columbia Fire Administration Chief Jeremy Wallen is talking about is you. Fear that when you're behind the wheel that you won't move over for him and his firemen.
It's really just what you know is going to happen.
Columbia County officials estimate that only 40%, less than half, of their citizens move to the right when they see sirens and lights. It gets a little better in Richmond County, but not much. The Emergency Management Department says 50% of their citizens yield to emergency vehicles. It's something that makes these residents aggravated.
Because they should. I mean, that's an emergency vehicle.
That is a hazard for a policeman to worry about his back.
So in case you are unaware of the rules of the road, here's what you do when you see lights flashing around you. Slow down, signal, move to the right, and only stop if it's safe. Whatever you do, don't pull over to the left because emergency vehicles are not allowed to pass you on the right-hand side.
People are just, rude if they don't.
And as a law in the state of Georgia, you have to move over.
This man is right. It is a law in Georgia, but it's a tough violation to crack down on. In Wallen's 19 years in firefighting, he's only seen a couple of citations written for not moving over because a law enforcement officer has to witness it.
You just have to hope people move out of the way for your safety and theirs.
Here are some intersections that are particularly dangerous for first responders. In Columbia County, Columbia Road and North Bel Air Road. In Richmond County, emergency management lists Berkman Road at Washington Road, Gordon Highway at Deansbridge Road, Highway 25 at Windsor Spring Road, and Walton Way at Gordon Highway as dangerous intersections for their emergency personnel. It is